about those 600,000 living alumni who are out there. Chris Morelli joins me now. He's one of those 600,000. Chris, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, not a problem at all. Thank you for having me.
All right, let me begin here because the discussion has to start with Joe Paterno here. And the reason I say that is because he was the highest profile figure, the symbol of Penn State University, and before this scandal broke, everything that was good about Penn State University. Based upon what we're hearing in this Louis Freeh report, what are your thoughts today about Joe Paterno?
Well, you know, I've been in the minority here all along saying that I thought that, you know, Joe's hands were dirty, and there were many, many people defending him, and those people, I think, for the most part, have disappeared today. But let's make no bones about this. Joe Paterno ran the university. He was in charge of the football program, and he was in charge of many other facets of things that went on here. If there was something going on inside the program, Joe knew. And for the Paterno family to come out today and say that he had no idea that Jerry Sandusky was a pedophile is just absolutely ridiculous and a blatant lie. I just cannot believe the gall of the Paterno family to keep issuing these statements. But Joe Paterno ran the program, and ultimately what he did led to the program's demise.
All right, Chris, let me ask you this now. Even during the course of the trial, when I was out in Happy Valley, people still revered Joe Paterno. Everyone I spoke to, he's a great guy. Maybe he should have done a little bit more, but he didn't. You know, he's not responsible here. He has done so much good. We can't say anything bad about him. They want to rename the stadium after him. You go to that stadium, people come and hug that statue of Joe Paterno that stands so prominently in front of it. There it is. Look at the, parents bring their little kids there. What are your thoughts about that statue? Should that statue remain at Penn State University, prominently displayed in front of that football stadium?
Absolutely not. The statue needs to come down, and I don't know when exactly the university makes that statement by taking it down. And I think, personally, it needs to come down, and they have to put some kind of, tribute there to the victims of these horrible, heinous acts committed by Jerry Sandusky. But I think the statue has to come down. I don't know exactly when that occurs, but I think that would be a move by the university. And I know there would be people that would fight it, but I think the majority of the people who are realists, who know, what kind of evil was at the root of all this, know that statue cannot remain. That statue's a lie. Everything that Joe Paterno allegedly stood for is a lie. So I don't see how that statue remains at Beaver Stadium. And I think also along those same lines, we can stop talking about renaming streets and stadiums after the coach. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, here's the question, because even during the course of Jerry Sandusky's trial, I was out there last fall when the story broke, and you've got students and people from Happy Valley driving by, beeping their horns, giving me the finger, telling me to go home, leave Joe Pa alone. We saw the riots when he was fired from his job. Do you really think that a majority of the 600,000 living alumni and the tens of thousands of students that go to this university will see this the way you see it?
No, I don't. And I think that's a shame. I think that people kind of live in this fantasy land where they like to bury their heads in the sand. And I've talked to so many people who want to blame Curley and Schultz and Spanier and just absolve Joe of any wrongdoing. Well, I think that the Louis Freeh report today, says that Joe was involved. He was one of the big four involved. And, and we've got all these other people blaming the Board of Trustees. They want to blame the media. These people need to pull their heads out of the sand and face facts that their icon, their hero, was involved in this. And these are horrible, heinous crimes that were committed against these defenseless children. And I don't know what we can do to get through to these people, but they need to wake up. They're an embarrassment to this university to be acting in this way. You can no longer defend this man.
Chris Morelli, Penn State alum, thanks so much, Chris. Appreciate your perspective on this. All right, folks, you've heard from me, you've heard from my guests. What is your reaction